Hello again. Lulu is getting a sister. We're almost to the end. We're on chapter 19. So let's see what's going to happen here. Chapter 19. On Saturday morning, their final morning together, Lulu took Mitzi and Fritzy for a hike. Each of them carried only her own heavy backpack. There wasn't much conversation, not even from Mitzi, the talking machine, for they all were too busy huffing and puffing and sweating. And even though Lulu was deeply tempted to name the names of the planets in order out loud, she just said Mercury, Venus, and then she stopped. Saturday afternoon, Lulu hung out with the other SITs, and then, as Call Me Debbie had promised on the very first day, it was time for that great big end of camp celebration. Time for everybody at Camp Brotherhood to join with everybody at Camp Sisterhood for fun and games and a yummy, delicious meal. In case you've already forgotten about this end of camp celebration, you'd better go back and reread chapter 4. And yes, there was fun, there was games, and there was what some folks might call a yummy, delicious meal. There were also many speeches and many prizes, including a swim race champion ribbon for Fritzy and 2 Scrabble co-champion ribbons for Mitzi and Lulu. Lulu and Mitzi. There was also a lot of mingling among the SITs and the BITs and their siblings, which is how the trouble began. A group from both of the camps started taking turns one by one, shooting basketballs into the baskets. Lulu and Sebastian were part of that group. Sebastian was his usual untied shoelaces, breakfast all over his t-shirt self, and was scoring his usual 0 basketball score. And after his 15th miss, a Camp Brotherhood BIT began laughing and pointing at him and saying, in between ha-ha-has, "Hey kid, you must be doing this on purpose. No one can miss the basket that many times." After which he poked Sebastian's food-smeared t-shirt and said, "But I guess you miss getting stuff in your mouth a lot too." This time, I swear, there really was steam coming out of Lulu's ears. She leaped in the air, she roared a ferocious roar, and then she was standing between Sebastian and the BIT, her eyes kind of popping, her face turning redder than red, clutching the BIT's shirt collar in her fist. "You don't get to talk to Sebastian that way. Ever, ever, ever. Take it back and tell him you're sorry," she said. "He's a messy kid and a klutzy kid, but mainly he's my little kid, and the only one who can pick on him is me." The bigger boy mumbled, "Sorry," wriggled out of Lulu's grip and darted away as quickly as he could. Sebastian stood frozen in place, open mouthed with amazement. Then Lulu tossed the ball to him and growled, "Okay, now shoot! And try to remember, it's basketball, not bowling." There she is, grabbing him. Wow, another big change in Lulu. "So what's going on with Lulu?" she just said. "What's going on? But I'll tell you again. Sebastian belongs to her. He is her little sibling. She protects him the way she protects all other stuff. Which means she won't let anybody criticize him or embarrass him or laugh at him. Anybody, that is, except herself. Okay, I hope you've got it, because you'll be seeing her do this again, right after Mitzi and Fritzy trick a bunch of brothers in training into thinking that the twins, are only one person. Which they just did. After the twins were done with their trick and the BITs were annoyed, then extremely annoyed, and then infuriated, for Mitzi started dancing her triumphant victory dance and shouting, "We fooled you, we fooled you, we fooled you, we fooled you." And then Fritzy smiling her pitying smile and whispered quite unsoftly to her sister, "We probably fooled them because they're not too smart." At this, the BITs howled with anger. There they are. Oh, they look angry. There they are celebrating. This time it isn't Lulu angry. Howled with anger, and they yelled some unfriendly words at Mitzi and Fritzy. Words like gloaters and show-offs and smarty pants. And more words like sneaky and rude and condescending. And then some more words that I can't mention here. To which our Lulu responded by doing her red-faced steam coming out of her ears thing again. After which she warned the boys in her best make-them-shiver voice. "They're little, you're big, so leave them alone, you bullies. Say one more word and I'll make you sorry you did." Then grabbing each girl by the arm, she marched them away. I don't know about you, but I think Lulu learned a lot. Both of the girls thanked Lulu for sticking up for them. "Those boys were fools," said Mitzi. "Those boys were such fools," said Fritzy. "Those boys were fools," said Lulu. "But you were too. That twin trick, that victory dancing, that gloating, that saying they weren't too smart, all that stuff you're not supposed to do." "So how come you stuck up for us?" asked Mitzi. "So why, if we're fools," Fritzy asked, "were you on our side?" "Because even though you can certainly sometimes be fools," Lulu replied, "you are my fools." Because, she continued, half irritated and half something else, sisters have to be on their sister's side. So you've got a drastic change here. That brings us to chapter 19 and 1/2. So next time, chapter 19 and 1/2 and chapter 20 will finish it up. So what's going to happen? Lulu had a drastic change from how she's been acting. Let's see how it's going to end. See you next time.